colleagues for standing together unanimously today to support this resolution. Today, on the brink of the United States Supreme Court overturning the 1973 decision of Roe v. Wade, Monterey County stands strong in the defense of the women's right to choose and for women to make their own decisions over the reproductive health and decisions that impact their futures. I'm proud to stand with my 5 colleagues to denounce the most legally flawed, unconscionable, and unjust court ruling when it comes to women's rights. Justice Alito's draft decision, along with the other 4 justices who signed on to it, is not only a dark, unsettling, disturbing ruling, but it goes on for pages as a citing authority draconian laws throughout history that harshly and criminally punished women. The ruling also cites several medieval white men with twisted beliefs about women as authority, and it contradicts what many of these justices said during their confirmation hearings before Congress. Nowhere in the decision does it take into account women's own decisions, their own well-being and health, the impact on their lives, or their constitutional liberties. This draft ruling also throws out decades of prior precedent that protected women's right to privacy, including their right to an abortion under the Due Process Clause of the 14th Amendment. And we know who is going to be impacted the most. It's going to be low-income women, especially women of color, that will be hurt. We know that in California, our governor and our legislature have enacted laws to protect these constitutional rights at the state level, and will move to codify it under our state constitution as well. But in other states, legislatures have already restricted these rights, and more will move to enact the most draconian laws against women. Those women who can afford to travel to other states providing abortion services and protections will do so. But those women who cannot afford to travel to those states will be left with little recourse. And the Supreme Court will not stop here. They will move to attack other liberties and constitutional protections against other protected groups, including the right to a free public education for immigrants, guaranteed under prior case law under Plyler versus Doe. We know that an attack on women's rights today is an attack on all of us tomorrow, and we cannot let that stand. We call on the United States Senate to codify Roe v. Wade tomorrow under the Women's Health Protection Act that will be taken up on the Senate floor and was already approved by the House of Representatives 9 months ago. We know that getting this legislation to the president will be difficult this week, as various senators are refusing to uphold their oath that they took to defend the Constitution, and they lack the courage to do what is right in this situation. But let it be known to our daughters and our mothers and our families and all future generations that Monterey County stood for women's rights as the court was about to issue one of the worst and most extreme decisions in our nation's history. Remember that our constitutional liberties are never guaranteed. They are indeed a constant struggle, and we must always fight to protect our cherished rights. With that, I want to invite my colleague up, Supervisor John.